On the high seas of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, we had the main Pirates of the Caribbean. Then we heard about not one, but two different spin-offs or alternate versions of Pirates of the Caribbean. One had the girl who plays Nebula. I keep forgetting her name, and she's in Jumanji.
Karen Gillan?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So one that was going to feature her, and then one that was going to feature Margot Robbie. Now, we haven't heard a lot on any of the news fronts about that, so some of us have started to wonder what's going on with the Margot Robbie thing. Well, wonder no more, because according to reports, and according to Margot Robbie herself, that project, well, it's dead. It's not happening anymore. This comes from the folks at CBR who wrote, Disney has decided not to move forward with the Margot Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Robbie updated the status of her replacing Johnny Depp in a Pirates of the Caribbean spinoff. We had an idea that we were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female lead, but not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool, but I guess they don't want to do it now, she said. The Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson was also attached to the canceled film. So this was going to be a reboot of the franchise. Now, one of the interesting things here is that I looked around a little bit, and they have not necessarily canceled the reboot. They're still looking at maybe doing a reboot, but the iteration they were looking at doing the reboot with Margot Robbie is off. I have mixed feelings about this because listen, Margot Robbie, it's already proven she's an Academy level actress. I mean, if you want to know how good she is, watch I, Tonya.
Oof.
Oh my God, she's so good at
Yeah.
it. It's crazy how she's not just like one of the most beautiful actresses in the world. She is like world-class elite talent. She's incredible. And I thought something like this, I actually thought she would be a pretty good fit for. That being said, I'm not so sure how I feel about a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot right now, like maybe in 5 more years, 10 more years, whatever. So a little surprised to hear about this, but it's been radio silent for so long that is it really that surprising? Anyway, Chris, apparently the Margot Robbie Pirates reboot is no longer on. What do you think about that? Do you think they should still do a reboot? I don't know. Where do you think this is at?
I mean, it's a great franchise, so I definitely think Disney's going to keep mining at it. Whether they should or not is, a matter of how good the script is, right? That's what it all comes down to. I really enjoy this franchise. When I need to energize myself, I listen to the soundtrack of this.
So good.
Because that'll make you run. It's really, really good. I love Margot Robbie, and I really, really think she has an incredible body of work. She hasn't had too many great films lately, though, right? We just saw how Amsterdam
not so good.
really, really tanked. I'm really hoping for Babylon to be a big, good thing for her. But,
I wasn't big on their Birds of Prey movie, to be honest.
Well,
I know a lot
which
of
I
other
did
people
like.
liked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, it didn't work for me,
But
really.
hearing that that's who was tied to this too, because I will admit more people tend to, not be crazy about the Birds of Prey films. I'm in the minority on that one. So with her and that writing team, maybe that's what they were kind of like, oh, this isn't the magic formula we need. But maybe they'll get there.
Rob, what do you think? Should they continue with the reboot without Margot Robbie? Are you surprised that this one had its plug pulled?
No, like Chris, though, I like this franchise. I mean, I think the third movie has a lot of great fantasy set pieces in it. I liked it a lot more than most people. And I think the first movie, although it may be a little long, is a classic. But I think if you're going to do a spinoff, you got to introduce that character in the main body
they're
of the
talking
franchise.
reboot. This was going to be a reboot. This one that they were talking about with Margot Robbie was going to be a reboot.
But it's that I don't agree with. I mean, I think that it rebooting that franchise. I mean, I understand. It's so interesting to me to see Pirates of the Caribbean is Johnny Depp. I mean, Captain Jack Sparrow is that franchise. The way Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones. I mean, I guess you could reboot it, but would it be the same thing?
Well, there's a difference, though. And I think the difference is this, is that notwithstanding Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the Indiana Jones trilogy are all considered beloved classics. I surprisingly love, because I didn't think, like you're making a movie based on a theme park ride, are you idiots?
I know.
And I love the first Pirates of the Caribbean. Loved it. I haven't loved a single one since. There have been some that have been less offensive than others, but this thing, like, here's the thing too about this franchise. Like, when you go to the first one, while he was this enigmatic clown prince, right? And when you look at the first Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow was feared. And he was known as a great pirate.
Yeah.
And he was respected and feared, even though he had this eccentric personality, right? As you progressed through the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, he became Jar Jar Binks. he was just an idiot. Like by the time you got to the last one, he was just a pure, unadulterated moron who just fell ass backwards lucky into anything he happened to succeed in. I, quite frankly, by the time the last one was done, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this franchise. Like they just went too far with that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's totally fair. I mean, in the first movie, he's playing the fool. He's using that perception as a drunken buffoon to accomplish his goals. So he's doing the long con, which made that character even more appealing. And then the thing about 2 and 3, I wasn't such a big fan of 2, but 3, like introducing all those other characters like Chow Yun Fat, and I really liked the fantasy element of where it went. But like you said, I think by the time the fourth movie came around, that's a very fair criticism. I think that they neutered his character, and that's bad. But I still think that to reboot the franchise, would you get the female version of Jack Sparrow? I think you have to reimagine it in some way where it's different enough that people aren't going to go, oh, she's just doing Johnny Depp's shtick.
That is
a
the risk.
woman.
Yeah.
And because I think, look, like you said, they're rebooting Haunted Mansion again, and the first Haunted Mansion wasn't great, so I could see them doing that. But I don't know. I mean, that's a very lucrative franchise, so maybe they could
Here's
make
one
it
of the
work.
unfortunate things about Pirates of the Caribbean. Just like I often talk about There Will Be Blood, and Paul Dano gets way overlooked for how all-time great he was in that movie because he was acting alongside of the greatest of all time, Daniel Day-Lewis, who I think turned in the greatest performance of all time, right? I also think one of the unfortunate things about Johnny Depp nailing Captain Jack Sparrow so amazingly in that first movie is that nobody talks about Jeffrey Rush's Barbossa, who I think that character is amazing.
He was awesome.
I love him in that role. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you make of all this? Apparently, the Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean reboot is done. That other spinoff with Karen Gillan may still be on. We're not really sure about that. But at any rate, how do you feel about that? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months free. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, you know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say, it is the perfect time to switch. Since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've been spending 1/3 of what I used to spend on my mobile service with the other big name company. And with this buy 3 months, get 3 months free, not only is it a great choice for you, but it makes great gifts for the people you love. Mint Mobile's best offer of the year is here. By going online only and with eSIM and eliminating the traditional costs of retail, Mint Mobile passes those significant savings on to you. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a selected device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea.